Now, as usual, can Manchester United is the speech. And without much further ado, let us get into the type of things. I don't know why my screen has hanged. Just a sec. Just a sec. I don't know why this is hanged. Okay. So we're back. So Manchester United versus Leicester City FA Cup quarterfinals, and it's tonight. It's gonna be a big match considering that Van de Beek has finally started. My God, Van de Beek has finally started. So with me, it's Abhishek right now. I think just a sec. Okay, I put Abhishek on mute without reason. Just a sec. Some technical difficulties. Meanwhile, while you're at it, while you're over here, hit that subscribe button. The road to 900 is on. Ayanda is also waiting muted. Okay, Ayanda is here. Abhishek is unmuted finally. So, guys, first of all, this is Abhishek Patke. I just met him on Twitter, on Facebook a couple of days back on the Ranjit Bajaj podcast, and he had been on the Sony Live the previous match against Milan. So, Abhishek, welcome to Netflix Football. Ayanda, as usual, the usual suspect. Abhishek, how does it
Thank
feel
you.
actually to be on this show for the first time, and let us actually hear about, you have some ventures that you were talking to me. Just let us hear about all those in a quick flash.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, the thing is that hello everyone. This is Abhishek, and I was on the AC Milan versus Manchester United Sony event. So I met Neil a very long time back, and we were still in discussions like how to proceed with everything and all. So he invited me to the show. So it's really an honor and something new for me to go through this podcast. And yes, my venture is in, we will be starting with a fan page for Indian Super League very soon. So it will be based on the news and everything, fixtures and everything, updates about the team news, etc., team transfers, etc., on the page that I'm currently working with. So this is the venture, and soon I'll be keeping updated everyone about the same.
Absolutely. So before we proceed further with the lineups, and as usual, One Football is late, a quick shout out to tonight's sponsors, the podcast partners, Wise Teams. Wise Teams are a digital marketing agency who provides digital presence and accessibility to all sorts of businesses. To give you a rough idea, they provide certain features to their clients, which includes local listing, logo design, virtual tour verification, and whatnot. In short, if you've got a business, they've got a plan. So they have worked with YouTubers who are big stars right now, put them into the line, and they know what they're doing, and they have been helping me grow this channel bit by bit. So if you have a business which you want to succeed in the online digital marketing platform, they are the place to be. So coming back to the podcast things, Ayanda, how does it feel? Mixed emotions. Van de Beek, because I discussed Jivogda. I think Jivogda is here watching the show. I had a discussion with Jivogda in the after the last podcast that United are going to rest Van de Beek. United are going to rest Rashford. He said it's never in a million world that is going to happen. Finally, we see Van de Beek starting, but I go to the Wan Bissaka part later. But do you think Van de Beek in a crunch situation in a quarterfinal, that too against mighty Leicester? Your thoughts?
Yes, the first thought after seeing Van de Beek on the team sheet is not ideal because he hasn't played in a long time. He had been injured. He was not really in the mix in that starting position. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's taken such decisions and sometimes they've paid off. So yes, resting Bruno in such a big game. Yes, Bruno needs rest. That is a given. But a quarter final, that too against Leicester away from home. You need all your top players performing. I know Pogba is back, but at the moment, I think that yes, Bruno for me would have been the better choice over Van de Beek. But Ole must have a plan. So let's see what he does.
So this is roughly the United lineup. You can see that on below. But Abhishek, I'll ask you to describe the Leicester lineup. So I'll just read it out for you a bit. Schmeichel starts with the back three of Soyuncu, Evans, and Fofana. Castagne, Tielemans, NDD, and Mark Albrighton starts. Lucas Perez, Jamie Vardy, and Kelechi Iheanacho, who has been scintillating form recently. And whenever United have faced a back three or a back five, United have struggled to create those and engage in those half spaces, the quick one-twos that they play, and that they found it very difficult. So, Abhishek, do you think that this is going to be a tough match for United as always?
Yeah. The thing is that when Leicester is in form, definitely we need to be scared about them. I still remember that match. Like, if anybody remembers that 5-2 match, it was a horrible shit show against Leicester City. So that kind of things can happen. And when Leicester are in good form, definitely they are a team to worry about. And this lineup is also looking good, except for one or two players like Fofana. I'm not pretty sure about how he's going to perform and everything. The lineup is really strong from Leicester. Vardy, Iheanacho, what you can say about him? Yeah, he scored the hat trick and he's in great form. Vardy, as we know, is always a threat, and having Perez in the middle, like the role that Madison is playing. I feel that yes, we need to worry about and we need to keep Perez and Vardy in check. That's what I feel.
Absolutely, because Madison has been pulling the strings, but you see Perez playing at that false nine role. Actually, with
Yeah,
NDD in the team,
yeah,
Tielemans has a lot of creative impetus that he can
yeah,
provide those through balls. That what we hope to sign a midfielder in his form so that we can unleash Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes at the same time. But talking about players from Leicester, let's talk about one that we have signed last season, and he's our captain. He is the mighty captain Harry Maguire, and he has endured a lot of stick in recent times, rightly so because of his errors. But recently, United are they have this amazing record of like 27 wins of the last 29 away matches, and they have just conceded one goal in the last 7 games. Hopefully, we continue that statistic. But on that, I'll ask you this: Harry Maguire finally is the performances that he had against West Ham, not a easy team by any means, and against the mighty Milan at San Siro, providing a Rossoneri-worthy performance, bringing back the days of Nesta and Maldini. I'm not overrating a bit, but do you think that this is a more important game, and can he actually hold his own fort against the likes of Vardy, Nacho, and Jose Perez?
Well, yes, I've been that one supporter of Maguire from the get-go, although he has been in the line of fire plenty of times. But yes, I have supported him, and I've always really wanted to see him on the in the team because he is that big presence in that back line who gives you that strength at the back.
yeah.
Now, as we know, he Maguire, if he gets a good central defensive partner, his game increases by leaps and bounds. And with Lindelof also playing brilliantly at the San Siro, Maguire's game has flourished even more. And yes, against Leicester, it is going to be equally tough. But with the kind of form that he's in, he's getting the blocks in, he's getting those headers in that he's so good at. So yeah, I think he is going to be a very important player as he has been in the past couple of seasons. Not missing a single minute in the Premier League, that is never easy. So he has good fitness to back up his playing styles. And yes, as Jibogda says, Maldini and Maguire not in the same category, but or even in the same sentence. But yes, this Harry Maguire has given us something to hope about, something to some reassurance at the back. So yeah, I'm expecting better things and even greater things from our captain in the future.
Absolutely. Abhishek, do you agree with this statement that Harry Maguire has actually finally started off proving his doubters wrong?
Actually, the thing is that Harry Maguire has been showing the consistency that we always wanted at the back. Let alone the results and everything. I'm not going to go into that because there are a lot of critics saying that he should do better, etc., etc. But one thing I need to point out is that other than Eric Bailly, that he is not injury prone and he has been there at every single match, and he has been providing the strong backup that we needed for a very long time. So yes, he has been continuously performing, as in just being, what you can say, consistent. He's not getting injured. He's showing a lot of character at the back. So that is one thing that we always wanted. And yes, he is slowly and steadily coming into the form that he should, or realizing the expectations that he was supposed to do in the last season. But I'll tell you one thing: 4 5 months back, 6 months back, there was one small fact, or one small kind of a sentence that was shared on our group, that there are almost 82 plus matches or 80 plus matches that are going to be played in this season by Manchester United. And I was of the opinion that whatever you say, Harry Maguire is going to play each and every single minute of 82 matches or 80 plus matches, and he is providing to do that consistently. And somewhat, even if he's assisting or even if he's not providing a goal threat, he is being a strong back or strong backbone through which a midfield and what you can say forwards are focusing on their attack. So yes, I think he is growing and showing the form he was supposed to show.
Absolutely. Just run through the comments a bit. Shubham from Bunk Sports is here. Great going, Neil. Keep going. Thanks a lot. Your wishes mean a lot. Jibakda is on a rampage. He says, I was hoping to give Van de Beek company on the bench today, but usne bhi saath chhod diya Salah. But DG is the new Van de Beek, so I'll have him for company. So he's back. Rashford is probably injured. I don't believe Ole has the cojones to rest him. Okay. So tough match. Jibakda again, Maldini and Maguire. So we have gone through the comments and talking about consistency, Abhishek, that you put that Harry Maguire has been in all of the matches since last season. And you see, basically, there's another guy in the defense who looks short of breath and food and is probably going to die of tiredness if we don't give him a rest. And that person is this young man, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. You can see by the looks, he's very sad.
Yeah,
So that's what goes with the banner of this of this theme or of this arc is sad Bissaka. I'll stay with Abhishek. Abhishek, last match against Milan, we were seeing that Wan Bissaka. Oh my god, he's like out. He has played every match, and without a proper right winger, whenever Greenwood has played on the right, he's not. He has been in those half spaces, coming in deep and not taking on his man what a proper Jadon Sancho or an Amad Diallo is doing. That he
yeah,
takes on his man on the byline. Whereas we see Wan Bissaka going up, then coming back, then again going up, and then realizing that he's human. But I
yeah.
don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has. After loaning Diego Dalot, I thought your I forgot the name of the right back who
Brandon
signed for.
Williams. No,
He's
no.
not a football player. The one that we loaned, the one that we loaned on the
Right back.
had a breakthrough last season.
Diego Dallo, right?
Brandon Brandon
No,
Williams
not
had the
Diego
breakthrough
Dalot.
last season.
No.
No,
Brandon,
he's
it's not
asking about
Brandon
the
Williams.
person who was loaned.
Another player that was loaned. I keep forgetting his name. If any one of you in the comments remember the player that has been loaned, I keep forgetting his name. I'll just have a quick Google check. Man United right back loan. Google is always to the rescue. So
Indeed.
Andre Petra, Tahith Chong. Just a sec. I'm not seeing it. Just a sec.
Timothy Fosu Mensah.
No.
No,
He has
Fosu
been
Mensah has
sold.
been sold.
Has been sold.
Yeah,
At the right back, I keep forgetting. He was likened to Antonio Valencia. If anyone in the comments just has an idea of who he is, Ethan Laird. Yes.
Ethan
Ethan
Laird.
Laird.
Okay.
Sumam, thank you. You're a
Ethan Laird.
lifesaver. Google
Yeah,
didn't. We thought that Ethan Laird would come onto his own, considering that he had these attacking qualities like a Diego Dalot. But suddenly, both of them have been loaned for the remainder of the season. With Diego Dalot considering coming up with a good performance at Old Trafford, do you think that Wan Bissaka really? But we all think that. But again, with one injury to him and that right flank is totally abused. Do you think that he deserves a rest?
yeah, definitely deserves a rest. But again, the question comes that we have some crucial matches that are in front of us, and at this situation, resting him and who will play in his position. So I think that absolutely until and unless he's injured, Ole is not gonna take him off. That's what I feel. Yeah, obviously, sad Bisaka. Yes, he's sad Bisaka because he's running from back to front, coming back, doing everything, and he's doing it great. But other than him, what is the choice? What is the strong choice that we have? Nothing. So he has to play on the left back. If you see, Shaw has been doing great when Alex Telles came. So it's like we have a good backup in the form of Alex Telles. So even if Shaw is injured, we have at least a good backup. But what about the right back? No, right wing back, I would say. So yes, he has to play. No option.
This is a contrary part. Like Alex Telles, when he was signed, he was hot stuff in Porto. He came and said, "I'm going to take over from Andy Robertson," but that did not happen. He couldn't take over from Luke Shaw himself. But the thing is that whatever improved Luke Shaw's game is number one down to competition, and number two, I
Yeah,
believe, is down to the fact that he has been rested, that he has got that rest, that did not accumulate a lot of fatigue. A lot of Luke Shaw's injuries were muscle-based injuries that have happened
yeah, yeah.
because of fatigue. Wan Bissaka, I don't know how he gathers that stamina. I don't know why Jibogda is calling me racist, but I am strictly against racism. Every life matters, not just black lives, but every lives matter. But Oyanda, do you think that United against Leicester, where the likes of Jamie Vardy, who loves that half space or that channel coming in from the left, and Greenwood starting up right, he does not come back that much often as Daniel James does. Do you think that he has his work cut out tonight?
Well, he has been having his work cut out for quite a few nights in a row now. But as Abhishek said, if not one Bissaka, then who? There's no one else actually at the moment that can, as you said, if you see a full throttle Jamie Vardy running towards you, you would want a tired one Bissaka over a fully rested Brandon Williams, right? So
Tired Van
yes,
Bissaka is good.
so Wan Bissaka, he will be there. He will be making in those tackles, getting in those tackles. So yeah, even at this point in time, if you don't have alternatives, what can you do? And this has been a big drawback in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans for building the team. Right? He should have gotten in a right back in the transfer window, even in the January transfer window, or not let Diogo Dalot go out on loan, which he did not. Uh, so it's very hard to understand this part of Ole Gunnar's strategy, but at the moment we have to stick with what we get.
Don't understand the actual drawback. But speaking of drawbacks, I'm telling you that there's no drawback in subscribing to the channel. So hit that subscribe button. The road to 900 is on and off. Peeps. I'm hearing Wan Bissaka not getting a rest makes me nervous, because and Jamie Vardy, that side actually makes me nervous. So band to the side, hit that subscribe button. Help me reach 1K subscribers as soon as possible, and your love and warmth has been immense. I'm recovering from the injury quite well. I'll be up and about in quite no time, so you can expect a lot more of those scouting videos and events that I missed out on, but it will keep coming in the channel. So keep supporting your local lad, as I always say, and keep supporting Manchester United. Don't support the other half of Manchester. So again, Wan Bissaka is a good point that we have all taken, and barring that, we have talked about how Leicester are going to line up in the offensive part, but let us actually have a look at how Leicester perform deep blocks very efficiently in defense. So in the tactical analysis section, I'll just bring up the slide. So you can see over here how they form a splendid line. This is the match versus Arsenal in the earlier half of the season. See how they perform to almost a five back, what they're playing tonight. You can expect this formation, three in the middle, cutting down exactly those half spaces where United want to play those intricate passes and get through on goal. Now, Bruno is not there to provide those Hollywood passes. Pogba is there. Probably Van de Beek. It has to be a brilliant performance from him. But Abhishek, let me ask you this. If they park the bus and you see this guy, this bloke who runs on caffeine and Red Bull for the most part of his diet, just looking at Wan Bissaka and like, yeah, I'm gonna run. Is it game over?
Yes, yes, definitely. The thing is that if Van Bissaka goes forward, a lot of, I mean, so what you can say, if he covers a lot of ground and if he goes in, joins in the attack, and that one space, at that one pass given to Jamie Vardy, if it clicks, my God, Van Bissaka has to run a lot. Seriously, he won't be able to catch up with the speed and the likes of Jamie Vardy. Plus, he has Iheanacho on the other side. So it's like a havoc, and in between you are getting Perez. So even if the Perez tries to shoot or do something in between covering up the whole ground, it's going to be a nightmare if, yes, Jamie Vardy is not contained.
So on the what I have gathered from Jose Perez's gameplay, that he runs on to second balls very quickly, and that is the only stat that Man United have lacked, that they do not win enough second balls to actually compete in the matches. Like, I remember a quote from the anime that you suggested: the one who wins the rebounds actually controls the game. That's a basketball anime, but it's the same. It's the same for any type of a sport. That you win the second balls, you gain the control on the match, you stop the transitions, you stop the counter attacks. But again, what bothers me is that United like to play with a three in defense, where the midfielder sits in, two of the central defenders, and two wing backs pushing up very high. And now it's no formality if I say that it is well known that Jamie Vardy, Iheanacho, and Ayoze Perez as tremendous runners and ball carriers. So Leicester will essentially set traps, ask Man United to push up, We have seen with Van de Beek that he does not close down as much as Bruno. So on
Yes.
the two balls down the channel on either channel, creating the space, pulling the defenders out wide. Ayoze Perez makes that late run. United playing a risky game, not playing Matic because of his height?
I think they are playing Matic, right?
Okay, they are
They are
playing
playing
Matic.
Matic.
So
Yes, yes.
what
So
comes with
no,
Matic is the pace. So again, the same question: Are United
again,
risking a sloppy counter attack?
another drawback along with Wan Bissaka is the other flank today, because Alex Telles, as we know, his defense is very, very questionable, and Kelechi Iheanacho on that side, flanked by Ayoze Perez, and from time to time we will also see Tielemans drifting forward with NDD
Yes.
securing
Yes.
that defensive midfield position. So, and also another one down the right hand side, in Wan Bissaka's face will be Mark Albrighton. He is also a very, very pacey player. So it seems very, very tough for United's defense today, because, as you said, Leicester will set the traps. They will dig deep and look for the counters, as they generally do with Jamie Vardy. So if United don't stay compact in that back line, be it 4 or 5, it's going to be very difficult to catch up. One if they are if any one of them of the Leicester players are through get through on goal.
And that's their game plan, isn't it? Like setting traps. Like what Man United have done against Man City. Push them back, not push them back, push us back.
Them, us, yes.
Soaked in the pressure. 1-2 or ball. Even the last season where Daniel James, Marshall scored in the opening minutes of the game. One ball over the top, and if Daniel James had half a brain, he would have made it 3-0 in the match, but it didn't happen. Sincerely, and I'm puzzled about Greenwood. But talking about consistency, I have just one amazing collage to show you. It is this slide that we had endured the last year. This was a meme altogether. Harry Maguire pulling down Shaw, and Brandon Williams doing what Brandon Williams does best, is like not existing in the defensive half, getting nutmegged like anything. But since then, United's defense, even though we have trolled Lindelof and stuff, they have caught up. The likes of Alex Telles, majorly underwhelming. McTominay losing his confidence. All the forward players not contributing as a team. But Abhishek, I'll ask you: has there been progress overall, considering this image and what United have done over the course of since that Tottenham game? Is it?
Yes. Yes.
Can you comment Ole on this, or can you criticize him for the errors that he has been going on?
See, basically, I would say that the defense has definitely, what you can say, become strong. But the fact is that we are not committing any silly mistakes at the back till now. Okay, so these kind of slides and everything are from the age or from the back season or something like that. So basically, during this season and during the few matches, previous matches, our defense has been strong. The major thing has been that our wing backs are being good. The Luke Shaw has been in tremendous form. Okay, so attack is the best form of defense, is what I gather. And what you can say, we have in mid also. I can say that Fred has done a really good job, even though he was a little bit shaky for the previous two matches. But because of all this, the defense has been impacted, and yes, I can say that it has improved a little bit for the previous 5 to 6 matches.
Probably that's what United would like to keep a clean sheet. That's what we will also. Okay, we'll take Shomodip Das comment. He says, Telles moves up to help the midfield for like Joao Cancelo, if you can ask, the plays in that inverted role a lot, and as well overlaps, puts in wonderful crosses, and keep AWB back with the two centre backs. Like I understand this, but Greenwood without support against Soinchu and Johnny Evans will get crowded out, because Greenwood has recently become that one trick pony that we never saw forthcoming. Always he's like, okay, I'll charge, I'll cut in, I'll shoot, and that's so common that he doesn't get. He's very unlucky with the what he hit with the post against West Ham. But I'll ask Ahinda this: do you think that we are due for a good performance from Mason Greenwood? It's been quite a while, like 26 games, he scored one goal. Is it the perfect match to break is long to continue add to his scoring record?
I would like to say yes, but as you said, the other teams, the opponents have picked up on his game because out in the wing, he has very little to do. Right? He just tries either to cut in and shoot with the left or go wide and either try to cross, which gets blocked, or come back to Wan Bissaka again. Uh, uh, but he's actually, as we all know, he's actually a center forward who is being shifted out to the wing. Uh, yes, it is taking much more time than we expected for him to get back into that groove or to get accustomed to that right wing position. But that has sadly not happened for us yet. But again, one match breakthrough, I'm not seeing that yet.
Probably that's the only drawback or whatever. Okay, we have Jesus. I don't know what happened with Abhishek. Probably some technical glitches. We always have these technical glitches, and it's a shagun. Whatever happens, need to talk about the defense in context of Greenwood's. Okay, Abhishek is back. Okay, so need to talk about the defense in context of Greenwood's drought. We bubble wrap Maguire with Fred at the cost of creating nothing for our strikers, and Greenwood gets flag service. He was brilliant midweek. Excellent point, Abhishek. We just lost to midway, but we were talking about Greenwood. How lucky or unlucky he has been. Like I remember the 11-match streak that
I can't hear
prime
you.
Robin Van still can't hear us. Try checking the headphones. Okay, so I'll stick with Ayanda on this. So Kaushikda is probably also joining. So cost of creating nothing for our strikers and Greenwood gets flag. So I remember this 11-match streak that United had, where a prime Robin van Persie did not score. For Sir Alex went and blasted all his midfield like, you get the ball to this man, he's gonna win you championships. And talking about Van Persie, he has similar traits with Mason Greenwood. Probably never on the same level, but if you remember a Van Persie at the age of 20, he was a bit erratic, a bit more on the same page, if I may ask you. But do you think that our midfield is to blame because Bruno creates a hell lot of chances, or is that being a forward at United, he has been shifted out too wide to actually influence the game?
Well, as I said with the midfield the other day, that big space that comes up between Bruno and McTominay and Fred when they play. And as it goes, like if you have more midfielders in that area, more creative players like a Pogba or a Van de Beek today, the chances that gets created will automatically be more. And if Greenwood was a center forward, he would have gotten many more chances per match than he is now because he has to create as well as try to take on some himself. Yes, he was great at the San Siro, but we need more goals from him as he because he is a more of a goal getter than an assist provider. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, play him in his preferred role. I think it would bring better results.
Absolutely. So, okay, Abhishek is back. So, Kaushikda, welcome back. He was having some health issues, and I can see him smiling bright again. So, Kaushikda, we are just discussing about Greenwood, but I'll ask you this because we were in the first Milan podcast which we have. Are you happy with the Europa League draw? Finally, that we have not drawn a top tier team.
Ah, I don't know if it's actually me finally, my prayers to Mahadev finally got answered to get a good draw, or is it simply because we're out of luck? I do not know because finally I think the three bill pata which I gave to Mahadev directly went into his inbox, not his spam folder. So I guess we got Granada. I was expecting Roma to be very honest. Roma to come charging at us and Smalling to score a goal. But of
I
course,
was expecting
even
UEFA to drop Bayern Munich to the Europa League just because Man United will go. We have got these draws: Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. Like, why? Cut us some slack.
but trust me, we are inevitable and we are unbeatable in these sort of situations because we still haven't reached the semi-final. So technically, this is still there. But I would say no. My other United fans would probably beat me up if they heard this. But let's not get into that. So Granada, it was a pleasant surprise, and that too, drawing a team like that. And so I believe to us to be on the front foot right from the get go in that match. However, us against Spanish oppositions, and that too with teams which like to play on the edge of the shoulders of the defenders. For example, Luke De Jong last time against when we were playing against Sevilla in the UL semi-finals, he was right on the shoulder of Maguire coming in from behind, and he squeezed in the space in between Maguire and Lindelof and headed in nicely. I think Granada also would like to do that. They would like to get in knowing we maintain a high line. So probably it's not as easy as it sounds or looks, because Europa League draws are always tricky, and we always tend to do miracles when it comes to horrendous starts in crucial matches, and then we play catch up. So let's hope for the best. That's what I can say. But I'm
One
happy
of those
finally.
one of those miracles is Brandon Williams. I don't know in what miracle made him a footballer. Like, I am stupid, but if you compare me to the IQ level of Brandon Williams to Dan James, I'll still top that class. But I'm stupid. That's the point of the sentence. But let's talk about someone who actually had an impact. Although he's a bit troublesome, but he has had genuine match-winning performances this season. Probably because Mino Raiola is getting there and turning around the wheels in the boxes. But nevertheless, he was a match winner in a lot of matches and again in midweek at the San Siro. Let's talk about not six, it's Jurgen Klopp's duty, but let's talk about Paul Pogba right now. Troubled genius. Okay, I don't have this graphic, my god. Lot of technical glitches. Okay, so Paul Pogba is back on the screen as well. I'll start with Abhishek. Abhishek, do you think he warrants a contract extension? Plain and simple.
I have no idea what Paul Pogba wants or his agent wants. The thing is that I'm just happy with the fact that he's still playing with us. Okay, I am not a big fan of Mino Raiola, his agent, but I am a big fan of Pogba. And I would say that a lot of people would criticize me saying that Pogba, with all his tantrums on Instagram and everything, but yes, he has turned up to big matches, and he has a good effect on a team. So if we compare Manchester United with Pogba and without Pogba, I would suggest that it's better to see United with Pogba rather than without him. So yes, I would say that yes, he should definitely sign with us again.
Definitely. Paul Pogba is brilliant. Like, okay, Ananda is back from his hiatus. Ananda, I'll ask you this, that we were having this chat like Paul Pogba in a midfield two behind Bruno Fernandes would have actually bossed the game against AC Milan, where there were a lot of spaces for him to dominate. But he did dominate, but from that left attacking midfield role, not essentially a Mezala, but from a wider position from the left, not a winger, but maybe you can say a left-sided attacking midfielder. Tonight, he probably plays the same position, although Bruno drifted out wide at times, allowing Pogba to take up those positions. And with Soyuncu or Johnny Evans in that defense, who are all physically strong, and how Pogba was screening in front of the penalty box and making others come into play, that's where I get excited, is the fact that Van de Beek is expert in those one-touch situations. He's like an enganche behind striker. And with Anthony Martial and his hiatus and his scoring, missing his scoring boots, do you think Van de Beek can benefit with Paul Pogba playing out wide tonight? Anda?
Can't hear you again.
Okay, nobody can hear us. Koshikda, right now?
Yeah. I'll answer it for that situation. Okay, so what happens is whenever you have somebody like a Paul Pogba in your team, and he tries to do what he does, uh, be it playing on the left, he takes out two players along with him. One who is always with him, trying to take the ball off him, and the other one who is trying to anticipate what he's going to do next. So it's basically two-on-one situation. So it drags players out of position, including defenders in certain cases, and attacking midfield and defensive midfielders who tend to be drawn towards him. And this allows spaces for any players who like to exploit spaces, be it Bruno Fernandes or for the matter Van de Beek, which exactly was the result. You know what happened against Crystal Palace, if I'm not wrong. He got the chance to go up into the penalty box and took a very nice shot. And in certain situations, if you have seen him play, he often makes very ingenious runs right across the shoulders of defenders, as well as occupy very key positions and plays beautiful one-touch football flicks. It can be no-look passes as well. So in that situation, I feel he will benefit. However, for him to be able to do that, he needs a proper run of games. And confidence is a major booster for us footballers. Let's say, for example, if I'm out with an ankle injury and I come back to the field, even in a local football match which I'm playing, KEP, which we call in Bengal, for our players, and I decide to beautifully take a football with my foot or the outside of my foot and try to do a laces shot. But if I injured my ankle to the outside of my foot, I would think twice before taking a laces shot. I would rather be much more intent in receiving the ball and passing to a teammate rather than taking it instinctively or attempting a volley, because I might feel rupture again and I will not be able to play. He needs able to keep a rhythm. Sessions are absolutely amazing, let me tell you. But it's a real thing when you actually go out and play. So he needs a proper run of games for us to be able to see what he can do. But tonight's a game where his quick feet can fortunately result in Johnny Evans again doing a mistime tackle and probably getting a card or giving us a free kick or any set piece in advantageous position. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's quite
That's
generous
my
of
point.
you talking about Johnny Evans. Like we remember the last game of last season where qualified to the Champions League, finishing third. But I'll just take a comment where Yash Smith says, Yash Smith, welcome to the channel. So he says, where's Rashford? And with that, that is the next segment that he had, that he's currently out injured. So Ananda, if you can hear us right now, do you think that Rashford playing with his shoulder injury, not fully recovered from his back injury, and with the foot knock that he has had, are we asking too much of Marcus?
Yes, definitely. We are asking a lot from many players like Rashford, then Bruno, and obviously Wan Bissaka. But then again, in that left-hand side, that right-footed winger Martial, he's been out of form this entire season. He cannot actually come in and play for Marcus day in day out. So Marcus has had to play that position throughout the season. And yes, the way look, the way the workload he takes, the runs he makes, he's I mean, all over in that attacking part. And I think in the game against which team I don't know, he even tracked back the entire length of the pitch to
And
commit a tackle. And so yeah, it's natural for him to be tired, to be injured, and with this much of football and is coming thick and fast, weekend, midweek. It's a continuous run of games for all the players, and yeah, I mean, if you really don't have that strong a bench, you have to deal with these type of injuries. It's a miracle for us that Wan Bissaka has not picked up one, or Bruno has picked up one, but our luck has to run out somewhere, and thus Rashford is out sitting injured.
right. And maybe I don't know about mind games, Abhishek, but there's a kind of a Sir Alex Ferguson vibe over here because the international break starts after this, and Marcus Rashford had been named on the England squad, and maybe just sacrificing for this FA Cup quarter final. Do you think? Maybe I'm just speculating over here. Do you think that Ole has ensured that Rashford actually gets a proper 2 weeks rest that is much needed for United's remainder of the season?
Yeah, I think I also love to believe all these speculations and everything. So yes, he needs a definite rest. He has been performing and he has shown some good form. So a rest is what is needed for Rashford right now. So whatever we can do to give him rest is definitely going to help us and help him get his form back, get his health back, and we should see him back soon.
Definitely, because he is an important player, isn't he? Koshik, do you think that Rashford, I understand the emotion behind what Marcus Rashford brings to Man United more than just a footballer, but do you think that kind of somewhere not going for that proper right winger? I am inclined to say Jadon Sancho because I would love to say that. Maybe Jadon Sancho in today, probably who can deputize at left wing as well, would have actually seized what brought the best out of Luke Shaw. And we know Danjans is not Jadon Sancho, but still a proper left winger or a right winger, a proper winger would have not issued so many injuries, so many niggling injuries to Marcus Rashford and the longevity of his career.
Yes, absolutely. I would say 100% because the moment you don't have a particular designated player who can play on either wing, and he's a dedicated winger, I tell you. If it and our right side needs a lot of attention. So in that case, you are stretching your resources thin, which is already looking like very thin muslin cloth. So you will end up completely tearing it apart in a way. And like I tell you, if you are a soldier and you attach a big scope on your assault rifle and you try to hit a target 600 meters away, yeah. 3 out of 1 shots will hit. But does it hurt to have an AWM or any kind or a designated sniper with you to take out long range targets? It's something like that. So it would not only add versatility to us, but at the end of the day, what it would do is it would again push Wan Bissaka to play very nicely because at the moment, what happens with our right wingers is they drift inside, and so even if Wan Bissaka
Actually, don't.
overlaps, he's always
That's
surrounded.
don't.
Yeah, so there is nobody to stretch the wing on one side. So most definitely, Rashford would have found it much more easier. He wouldn't have to juggle wings like that unnecessarily in situations where he is uncomfortable to play. And as a result, as my friend mentioned over here, he had to track back all the way against City and got his knock, which started there. And he is fatigued. He got a stress fracture, I believe, last season as well. Thankfully, lockdown happened
Yes.
and we weren't affected that much. So United needs to invest in this area, and Jadon Sancho, yeah, cream of the crop. I agree. So it would work wonders.
And with the team viewer deal coming in, and also who's coming in is Shayan Joy Mighty. Shayan had been out and he just finally made the cut right before we were going on to the prediction section. So Shayan, we are happy to have you here, but we are saddened that we could not discuss more with you. So I'll start with
That's
Shayan
fine. That's
himself.
fine.
I'll start with Shayan himself. What do you think is going to unfold very quickly and your predictions?
I think the team is looking good, and with the win against AC Milan, and we are through to the quarters, I guess. So I think it's gonna be very nice. The confidence level is gonna be high. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is gonna be happy, and I think they are going into FA Cup with that fire. And I think it's going to be a beautiful win for Manchester United. I positively think, and it's my gut feeling. So I think
What an
Manchester is
effect,
gonna win.
what an effective cameo like Jared Leto in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Who said he came in late?
No spoilers.
Nice
No
one.
spoilers.
No
No
spoiler.
spoilers.
Nice man, nice. It's always good to have you
Well,
here, no
I
matter the
can't I
time.
can't help it. I can't help it, but I am always positive. That's my mindset. Actually, I'm always
Yes,
positive.
man. Yes, absolutely. We were even arguing that time, I guess. A 2-0 win again for us. I remember the last game. Manchester City away, remember? You were there as well, I guess,
Exactly.
that time. Even you said we'll win
Zibagda was there.
that way.
And I was the one who
Yeah, I
said
said
that
one.
yours meant like a Red Devil
Yes,
victory. I don't know
Yes,
what
I
happened.
thought that it was a 2-0 victory. I predicted 1-0. So
Yes, absolutely. So Abhishek, I think, is having technical glitches again. Okay, Abhishek is back. Abhishek,
yeah.
your
I say
predictions
a
for
2-0
tonight's
victory
match.
for us today.
Abhishek,
Yeah, same 2-0 victory to Manchester United. Definitely.
2-0 victory. Okay. So both of all going for United clean sheet with Jamie Vardy, Kelechi Iheanacho, and Jose Perez rampaging us through that defense. So I'm scared, but we have Maguire. Jibagda even says that ardent Maguire lover. We are saying Maguire will contain Vardy. Yeah, he's training ground buddies.
yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Vardy
Oyanda,
in Maguire's pocket today.
Oyanda.
The one question I would like to ask is that if the match ends in a tie, do we go straight into the extra time?
I think we go on to penalties. I think that's the rule that has been in this season, but I'm not sure. Anyone can enlighten us in the comments that if there's
I
extra
mean,
time or direct penalties.
is it just one match, or do we, if it's a draw, we have to play again?
No, there's no replay. There's no replay.
There's
Probably
no
No,
extra
replay, right?
time
there
and
is no second
penalties.
leg. There is no second leg. It's gonna be decided today only.
There's
Okay,
no
so
replay like we
I,
used to
I'm
do
I'm
before.
going with a 1-1 draw, and if the match goes on into extra time, then 2-1 to Leicester.
Okay. So I'm
Oh,
going with the 1-1 draw, and if the match goes on to extra time, I am going to cry for Wan Bissaka. That's what I'm
No
going to do.
chance.
Like I feel for that kid.
Is
And
it a away match for us?
Yes,
yes, it's
away.
an away match.
Oh, then Leicester will score first, but we'll score again and more than them.
Oh my god! Oh my god! predictions all over the place, but the most important prediction that you guys wait for
We will
is
win.
mine. Yeah, we are not taking much of the limelight like Ben Affleck in Justice League. No spoilers, no spoilers. I'm
No
not the
Summation.
one to
spoilers.
give the
Don't
Summation
spoil.
over all draw predictions. Neil does predictions are summations over all draw predictions.
No, that seems a legit storyline tonight because I feel that the match Leicester will find it difficult to control the midfield because they are very narrow. Because Tielemans has to push up, and Jose Perez is not a number 10 that will come deep and scheme or play make. So they'll have to push up Tielemans, or they are pushed back by our own midfield line, like those military lines that we were talking about. Similarly, I think that if United start to get a good start the match good, which is an oxymoron, but I don't know why I say it. But I believe that United are going to start the match good, but there are high chances that there's going to be a 1-1 or a 2-2 draw, considering that both teams, United actually lack pace in that midfield area where probably Fred is going to
True.
make do with Matic. And Alex Telles, I'm worried about Alex Telles and Juan Bissaka because one counter and it's like heart attack all over again, heart in the mouth seasons. And I do feel that this is going to be a 1-1 draw and it will push on to extra time because that's our mighty luck. And I don't know what's going to happen in penalties because that's clearly something that is entirely based on probability and luck. So without much further ado, 9 minutes to go off for the match. I'll leave you to get your popcorns. Abhishek, thanks for joining in on such short notice on the third time. Yes, sarcasm's intended. Ananda, as usual, Shayan, quick cameo, not a post-credit scene.
He's a
Bhushikda,
super
let's
sub.
hope that your eye gets well soon because all the beautiful girls want to see those beautiful eyes.
Those days are gone, buddy. Those days are gone.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The bachelor life
My
days
lady's
are gone.
watching the podcast like
It's
now.
finally
So
settled,
yeah.
like United have settled on the defense with Maguire and Lindelof. So without much further ado, let's keep this show at a premium. Abhishek, thanks again for joining in. Let's do again sometime very soon. We have our collabs planned. So as soon as your venture comes out, you know where to ping. So I think he's having much of problems. So let's support Abhishek when I'll link all the channels in the description once he's come out. So doing a lot of collabs. I have a collab planned with Armband as well that Oyonda actually represents. Shayan, it's pleasure having you. Abhishek as well. Finally on the final third time. Okay, he is gone. So we'll be gone. We'll be gone soon again. So thank you for the umpteenth time to you guys. My voice is cracking. So keeping this show at a premium, I'm going to kick you out from the studio right now. So bye bye. Let's hope for a good match. GGMU. So that was pretty much about it on podcast with Neil. Man United versus Leicester, or Leicester versus Man United. Quarter final, FA Cup. Probably another semi-final which Ole will lose, but let's get through tonight's match and let's see what happens over the horizon. And as usual, the road to 900 is on, and you know where to hit that subscribe button. It's just down below. Keep supporting. Your love has been amazing. Your warmth has been stupendously great. And I love to hear from you. All those messages you've been sending me for my recovery. Amazing. I'll be back soon again. I'm not doing a lot of videos because my health does not persist that much. So let's hope the next Man United match after the midweek game will have a lot of time to talk about and reflect upon a lot of things. So without much further ado, this is Podcast with Neil, your boy Neil on Netflix Football. Let's see you on the other side of the game and let's hope for a good victory. Hit that subscribe button again if you have not, and if you there's just 5 minutes left, you can watch it on 4x speed if you want. So that's pretty much about it. Bye bye for now. We'll meet you very soon. Netflix Football means keep subscribing, keep sharing, and keep spreading the warmth. Bye bye for now. GGMU. I have to end it.